everyone, this is Mel Stevens and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a video all about this guy. Hey pal. Stay. So as we all know guys, Labradors love their food and guide dogs are no different. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to feed your guide dog and manage its diet. Hi, this is Mel Stevens. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My guide dog Darcy and I would like to teach you all about blindness. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and get all of my updates. What you want to do is you're going to want to make sure that your dog is on their bed and they're staying on their bed when you go to get the bowl. If your dog eats in a different location, obviously you need to make sure that they're controlling that location. But because Darcy's bed is on one side of my dining table and his bowl is on the other, that's why he has to stay on his bed while I go out and get his food. I have got all of Darcy's food and everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cup of food out, and Darcy has advanced adult large breed, as you guys have seen in the past. They're fairly large pieces. They're probably about ½ an inch big and they're a triangle shape. So I'm going to grab one cup out, and one cup is equal to about 20 to 25 pieces, which is plenty for him. So I'm going to put that in his bowl, and he has 1 cup or 20 to 25 pieces a day, twice a day. And that's got all of his nutrients and everything that he needs in it. And then he also has these, which is a 4x2 biscuit. These don't have any food value, but they are really solid and they are really good for the dog's teeth. So he has those as well. Boy. So as you guys can see, Darcy's actually still on his bed, which is really good. So I've just come back to the door and I've just praised, good boy, bed. And I'm going to open the door and go inside. And now I'm going to Darcy view. I'm going to call him to me and get him to sit and wait there. So he's sitting and waiting, and he's probably about 1.5 meters from where I'm going to put his bowl. So I'm going to put his bowl down in the area where I feed him. It's also essential that at this point you check to see whether they've got any water. You're going to step back and stand about halfway between the dog and their bowl. Make sure that they haven't gone for their dinner. And when you're ready, you say, you let them eat. Good boy. So it probably doesn't sound like 25 pieces twice a day is a lot of food, but really he doesn't need a lot of food. It's very important, especially with a guide dog, that they are kept at a good weight. So this means portion control, this means plenty of exercise, and managing your guide dog's weight is very important. And a lot of guide dog schools, when you get your dog, will say to you, this dog probably needs to be around, well for me it was 31 to 33 kilograms. But how do you tell whether your dog is the correct weight? Double, good boy. So there's a couple of things that you can, stand up, come on, double, thank you. There's a couple of things that you can check. First of all, you need to feel whether you can feel their ribs. And if you can, that's fantastic. You need to be able to feel all of their ribs probably without having to press really hard into their side. And the other thing is you need to be able to feel a little bit of a cave in between their hip, which is here, and their rib cage. And if there's a bit of a cave between their rib cage and their hip, that's also a really good sign of their weight. The other thing is if you can feel their backbone a little bit, that's really good. And if you can feel their hip bones a tiny bit. These you're not supposed to be able to feel 100%, but if you can feel those a little bit, and especially just, as I said, be able to feel the last 2 or 3 ribs. And that tells you whether your dog is at a very good weight or not. Give us a look at you. Hey, Darcy. Good boy. So that is how you tell whether they're a really good weight. The other thing is, can you give your guide dog treats? And if so, what should you give them? So I use a lot of positive reinforcement training, which I will do a video about in the future. And what positive reinforcement training is using positive reinforcements, i.e. food rewards, to reward good behavior and good work. But you don't want to give food rewards and your dog's dinner in one day. So what I do, and this was actually suggested to me by guide dogs, is I prepare his dinner in the morning without the biscuit. So I just get the cup of food, I put it into a Ziploc bag, and I put it in my pocket. I carry that around in my pocket all day. And then when it comes to his dinner time, I basically just get that bag of food out of my pocket and empty that into his bowl and put his biscuit with it, and that's his dinner. So by doing that, I'm not overfeeding him because I am giving him food rewards. And some days when I don't go out or anything, I don't do that, obviously. It's only for if I'm doing some work with him in harness, or if I'm training him to do something new around the house or something like that, that I would use those food rewards. But you can also give your dogs treats once every now and then. I just about every time I'm making carrot for my dinner, what I do is I chop off the top and the bottom of the carrot, which probably ends up being about an inch worth of carrot by the time you have the 2 bits, and I give that to him. He loves that. I also give him apple cores once every now and then, and he also likes to have hot chips once every now and then. I will admit that, it's the truth. But when you do feed your dog treats, it is very important to do it in a controlled environment and in a manner that is obedient to you. What I mean by obedient is not ever giving your dog a treat while you are at the dining table, be it in a restaurant, be it at home, anything like that, so that you don't encourage your dog to expect treats from you at the dining table. You must always ensure that your dog is sitting on their mat when you're having your meal at home, or that they are sitting quietly and calmly underneath your chair when you are in a restaurant, as your guide dog instructor has shown you. It's also very important that when you do give them treats, you give them in a controlled manner, as I said. So what I tend to do when I'm giving Darcy some carrot or an apple core or even some chips is I tend to actually go through the same process as I do when I'm feeding him. So I put his treat in his bowl if we're at home, make him sit and wait for it, and then let him eat. So that is a good way of making sure that your dog doesn't expect treats and beg for them. The other thing that I do is sometimes I do feed him his treats when he's on his bed. So I just make sure that he's on his bed, that he's sitting and waiting, and then gently takes a treat out of my hand. The other thing, guys, about treating your dog is when you're treating your dog in harness, you have to be very careful with that. You have to be very careful that your dog doesn't learn to, that your dog doesn't snap the treats out of your hand and become too kind of obsessive about getting treats when they're in harness. The thing that I was taught to do was to put the treat in my hand as a fist and then offer the fist in front of the dog's nose against the whatever it was that I'm rewarding him for. So say, for example, if I'm rewarding him for finding the bus stop, I put the treat in my fist, put my fist against the pole for the bus stop, and then give him the treat out of my mouth, out of my hand into his mouth. So everyone, I think the final thing that I should probably tell you guys about with relation to guide dog feeding is hydration and water. You need to make sure that you always have water available for your dog around the house. I have one bowl of water in my house at the moment, which is just in the kitchen dining room area next to his food bowl, and that bowl is full all the time. And the other the other water source that I have is when we are out the back, say it's a lovely day and I'm sitting out the back having a cup of tea or something like that, I also have a water bowl out there that I fill up and put out there. And my cat actually drinks from my dog's water bowl as well, so that is a really good incentive for me to make sure that the water bowl is full, because she can't actually reach it if it's only half full or something like that. When you're out and about with your guide dog, we Guide Dogs Victoria have issued small water bowls which are collapsible that you can just put in your backpack and give your dog water. I don't tend to take a water bowl with me unless it's a warm day, because I know that Darcy, he is a bit funny about drinking when we are out in public. I offer him water when I can at various points during my journeys, but Darcy is very funny about water, and he really only drinks in certain situations, and sometimes I have to bribe him to drink water. I do have to actually put a treat in the bottom of his water bowl when I know he needs to have a drink, so that he will actually drink. So making sure that you carry your dog's water bowl around with you all the time, and making sure that you've got water available for them around the house all the time. And I think the other thing to remember is about maintenance of the bowls. Make sure that you clean your dog's food and water bowls regularly. Every time I change the water in the water bowl, I rinse it out with warmish water, and I probably wash Darcy's bowl with hot water and detergent once a week, I would say. And of course, when you have come home from a trip with your dog's fold-up water bowl, that would be a really good time to wash your water bowl. I usually wash mine in the washing machine because it is just a material bowl, so I just put it in the washing machine, and that keeps it nice and clean as well. So everyone, I hope that you have enjoyed this video about how to feed your guide dog and how to manage their diet and everything like that. If you've got any questions about feeding your guide dog, feeding your pet dog, or anything that you'd like to ask me about that kind of thing, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you have any requests for videos that you'd like to see me do about guide dogs, about handling guide dogs, about blindness, anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. And share my channel with your friends and family, and remember to subscribe, click the notifications for all of my updates, and stay tuned for more content all about blindness. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.